3 days after a New York City grand jury cleared a white police officer in the chokehold death of an unarmed black man, the protests are growing larger, more disruptive, and spreading across the country. On Friday, here in New York, demonstrators blocked traffic by lying down on a major highway.
Earlier, they marched through the flagship Macy's store and staged a so-called die-in there. And at least 20 people were arrested. Now, another New York grand jury, this one in Brooklyn, is about to investigate the shooting of another unarmed black man. Jerika Duncan joins us now with more. Jerika, good morning.
Good morning, Vanita. The grand jury decisions in Ferguson and more recently in Staten Island have created a divide between law enforcement officials and the people they serve. But it has also united people of all races.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
Friday evening, the chant on the streets of Chicago was just like the one heard in New York.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
The last words of 43-year-old Eric Garner represent a call for justice from thousands across the country.
This is pedestrian traffic.
In Miami, hundreds took to the middle of the street, bringing traffic to a standstill. In Denver, students walked out of schools. One sign read, "They can't kill us all."
Don't shoot!
In New York, rain couldn't drown out the diverse crowd of angry voices.
You know, if you think about the civil rights movement, it took 10 years for anything to really happen between the protests and the boycotts of the buses to the actual Civil Rights Act. So it's going to take time, but we got to keep fighting.
Everybody's here together, black, white, brown, everybody.
For the past 3 nights, demonstrators have shut down major highways in multiple cities.
Thank you.
While most protests remain nonviolent, there were a few clashes. And one of the largest protests so far, a helicopter camera caught one New York officer being punched. Those who marched say their purpose is to peacefully disrupt what they see as a routine of injustice.
I'm not resisting arrest! Eric Garner, my friend! Shut it down! Shut it down!
And Akai Gurley's name could be added to the list. Last night, the wake for Gurley was held not too far from where a rookie New York police officer shot and killed the unarmed 28-year-old in a dark stairwell 2 weeks ago. The Brooklyn district attorney announced on Friday a grand jury will review the case.
I can't breathe!
His death may have added volume to the voices already screaming for justice.
We saw the video and we had the facts. There's nothing that can be disputed. This is a clear-cut case, a clear-cut example of police brutality, and it's a clear-cut example of not being held accountable. That's what's striking a nerve with people.
Thousands of people are expected to gather next weekend for a march in Washington, D.C. to protest the lack of indictments in the Michael Brown and Eric Garner cases. Anthony?
Jerika Duncan, thanks, Jerika.